Buonasera a tutti. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to another edition of Calcio with Reno Z. We are officially live, and what is a pleasure to have Mr. Tony Trim, as known as Anthony, my paesano. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good today. Thank you, Reno, for having me. It's always nice to be back with you. I know it's been a while, but pleasure as always. And yeah, I know I'm doing well. We'll get into these games and these matchups from today and yesterday of the Champions League. So always fun to talk about Serie A and Calcio in general. So it's nice to be with you today.
I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that, unfortunately, it really hurts my stomach to talk about the Inter, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
my channel is called Channel What, so we'll keep it fun and classy. Then, of course, we're going to talk about Juve, and we'll do the best we can to talk about other teams as well, because Juventus here, it's never going to go. So before anything, put a beautiful like and subscribe. And yeah, boys. Oh, we have some guests already on. Wow. We have Mr. Anthony Lafleur, as always on time. Buonasera. Then we have uh, Italo Presto, Supercaccio. Buonasera, Italo. Thank you for joining. I guess you're happy about Inter, eh? Well, we're going to talk about it right now. So I'll keep it nice and short whatsoever. I'm pretty sure people have seen my video today because man, I don't know about you, Anthony, but me, I've been having too much interiste bombarding me uh, you know, um, about Inter, this and that. But it is what it is. But it doesn't matter how I explain myself, even though I said I hate Inter, even though I say the truth. I'm never going to compliment Inter. I said, I say the reality because even today we cannot say nothing. And true that Bayern is missing a lot of players, yes, but Inter with their defense and some players. Then Harry Kane, let's be real. Like Bayern has Harry Kane, and he's a curse. He scored today, yes. It could have finished a tie, but Inter got their job done, and it's unfortunate they're going to the semifinal against Barcelona. Now, what was shocking to me, Inzaghi, he did some weird changes to that. I don't know why he got rid of Di Marco whatsoever, but pretty much they managed to go through. Even though for me, I don't know about you, Anthony, the changes were, we know Inzaghi does these weird changes. Which the first game he did well, this one, so and so. So I don't know. Not a lot of injuries whatsoever. I know that people were attacking. We had a lot of injuries. Well, you guys don't have the injuries that we had, so you know what I mean. But this tip is it's unfortunate. We'll see what happens with Barcelona. But surprising enough, Pavard scored the second goal. The whole Bayern fan. So we'll continue on speaking about them, about the Scudetto race whatsoever. But Anthony, what are your thoughts if you had a chance to watch it or
Yeah,
or
so no, unfortunately, I was working, so I didn't get a chance to watch any of the games the last couple of days. But just first thing that kind of caught my eye was the fact that it was a 2-2 draw. Like, seemed a little bit high scoring for me. Like I thought, with Inter's defense specifically playing so well, the fact that they conceded 2 goals is surprising. But at the same time, because they were up one in aggregate, that's why I guess they were kind of maybe more a little bit laxed on the defensive side of things, but still, that you hit the nail on the head. Like their defense is what it is. We have to give them credit for having a strong defense. I mean, and it helps that these guys have all been playing together for a little while now, at least a few seasons, right? So you can see the cohesion and kind of they all play the same way. And that's one thing that even as a Juve fan, I have to admit that the reason Inter's so strong is because they've kept the same group of players around for a little while now, playing together, and the same coach. Obviously, we know what it's like to have to go through a new coach, new system, new players. Doesn't always work out, not initially at least. So they're just kind of picking up where they left off. And yes, the injuries do play a factor. I mean, you gotta you got to count that for something. But to be fair, Inter did have their own fair share of injuries as well, right? But for Bayern,
Yes,
Alfonso Davies, Jamal Musiala, I think was hurt as well. Like those are both big
Canadian boy.
players, right? So they would make a difference in the game for sure. They could affect the impact of the game or the score line in the game. But I mean, Inter's a little bit healthier, so they were able to get through. It will be really interesting to see how they match up with Barcelona because I don't want to say it's like two different ways of playing football, but obviously Barcelona's heavy attack. So are they going to be able to break down this Inter defense, or is Inter going to stonewall them and be able to get one or two goals past them and kind of flip the script, right? So it'll be interesting to see how they match up in the next round. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but I know majority of the people thought that they're going to beat, well, that Inter wasn't going to beat Bayern, but that at the same time, anything can happen. Like we can sit here say about Barcelona that Barcelona easily can beat Inter, but anything can happen. It is a tough Barcelona, yes. Um, let's hope on them they don't have any injuries on that defense, because if they have injuries in the defense, then I don't know how they're going to manage.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see. And we have some people getting pissed off here. Calvin Jones, he's a Juventino. I'm pissed off that Inter advanced. I'm going to bed early. No party for me tonight. Come on, Calvin. We're going to talk about Juve after. Don't be so pissed. Don't be so pissed, my friend. Then I just want to answer to Mr. Pasquale. Uh, why the long faces, guys? An Italian team went through. I'm sorry, man. If it's in there, I'm not supporting them. I don't know Anthony, but for me, I am not supporting. Well, you guys did as well when we were in the finals. And that's what I've been hearing all day long through my friends today in Teresa. I'm just like, leave me alone. Give me a break. What do you think about this comment, Anthony?
No, well, I mean, the truth is, when Juve made it to two finals in 15 and 17, we all know how the rest of Serie A felt about that. And we weren't looking for support, that's for sure. We were, just taking care of business. In the end, we ultimately lost both finals, but, we got there and it is what it is,
Yeah,
right? And I mean, to their credit, they got to the final a couple years ago and they could do it again this year. They have the team to do it. So if they get
I
there,
pray not to.
if they get there, good on them. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'll be full disclosure. Like when Juve gets out, I don't watch. So like I haven't watched
yeah.
any of the basically the knockout round. It's just I don't know, kind of lose interest, right? But I do enjoy watching the highlights of the games after the fact because I still obviously love Calcio. I love watching the good teams play. But when your team's not in it, it's easier for you to kind of just ignore the rest of what's going on. And as you know, I'm a big hockey fan, so I've got other things going on right now.
Yeah, you have. Well, yeah, your
So
team is going through. So, by the way,
so
he's
it's
a
a little
big
bit
Leafs
different
fan.
in that sense, but yeah, that's how it is, right?
No, I get your point. I know a lot of people told me after their team gets out, they don't watch Championship. I always like watching Championship. Now, like the playoffs are on. I'm a Canucks fan. They're not on, but I'm curious to see the playoffs, how they turn out in with the Canadian team. So, but I always like Champions League because, let's say if I'm work, I watch the highlights, as you said, but it's always a good tournament, especially when you have these big guns like Real Madrid, which they're out. We can talk about that for a few seconds. And now seeing Barcelona in, Arsenal in, PSG. So I'm kind of curious to see. Then, of course, the scene to see how far it goes. I love broken hearts. Well, I'm not heartbroken, bro. I know Calvin is, but not me. Not me, I won't lose sleep. So what else we have here? Before I continue on, uh, yeah, I have so much comments all at once. I'm doing everything on my phone. It's hard to catch up. Inter showed the grinta and deserve to go through to face Barcelona. Hats off to them. Yes, you're right, and good luck on your next week because you're going against him with Milan. So
Hmm.
at the Coppa Italia, Malocchio, yes, absolutely. Fala Malocchio. Let's see what Calvin. He's pretty pissed off. My friend, who knows nothing about soccer about me, a Barcelona kid instead of Juve. At least now I can wear it, and it makes Okay, right on. Hey, we had Gio today on a live with the Bayern, and he had the Bayern shirt on. I cannot do that with the Bayern. If I have to put banter whatsoever, I put it. I was myself. I don't need to wear the the Barcelona shirt whatsoever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the same with you.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
hard. I only wear one other shirt, and it's Canadian men's national team, maybe
oh,
TFC, and that's
okay.
about it.
Yeah, the national team of Italian, but that's about it.
Yeah,
He got
yeah,
me
exactly.
Lewandowski. Hopefully that's a sign. Yeah, well, we'll see. Then continue. Kelvin Small consolations. Okay, sure. Whatever. And then we got Gio. Buonasera, Gio. How are you? You seem pretty upset today, eh? With the Bayern shirt that they lost. Oh, what's the matter with you, Gio? Mamma mia, you kill me. Oh my God, here we go. Screw Inter forever. Yes, I agree. But hey, it's sad to say, but it is what it is. It is what it. Oh, he lost a bet.
Hmm.
Oh, I lost a bet. That's why I had the Bayern shirt. Oh, okay. Hey, you got what he deserved, bro. So continue on. We'll go. I bet we got a last thing here. Sorry, man. Then I'll continue on. We'll see what happens midweek next week, paesano. I have no expectation for the second leg. I'm just ready for this season to end. Yeah, I agree with you. As a Milanista, I agree with you. Now, before I continue on, a lot of surprises with Champions League. I am pretty surprised that Real Madrid is out. In this Arsenal, they kept 3-0, and I think they finished, I think, with one goal, Real Madrid, if not mistaken. But seeing Real Madrid out of the Champions, it's going to open more doors because, like I said, I keep on saying I do like Ancelotti, I like the Real Madrid players, but after what happened, Atletico Madrid, not really happy. So they didn't deserve to go through. And yeah, we'll see what happens with Arsenal. What are your thoughts with these next four games between Arsenal, PSG, then Inter, Barcelona? Who's going to go through between those four?
Oh, it's going to be tough. I mean, as you saw with the Real Madrid Arsenal, it took two special free kicks from Declan Rice to really put a stranglehold on that first leg. If he doesn't get those two goals, or at least maybe he makes one and not the other, who knows, right? How that would work out. Um, but yeah, right now it's hard for me to bet against PSG, and it's hard for me to bet against Barcelona, just the way that they're playing the two teams. Now, again, I'll be fair to Inter, like, you know, they're known for their defense, so we're going to see, are they going to be able to shut down Barcelona's high flying offense, right? But I don't know, it's something about that team. It just seems like it's almost like they're destined to win this year, or at least go to the Champions League final. And like I said, they could end up playing PSG. With Arsenal, nothing against them either. Like, they're obviously playing well. They're coached by a good coach. I like Arteta. I think he's a good manager. They've got some good players there, obviously. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. But I do think that PSG and Barcelona will make it to the final.
Okay. But you see, yeah, I can see PSG Barcelona because now Gio is saying Arsenal will have Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. And I think even Inter will have Mkhitaryan and Lautaro out for the semifinal. So it's going
Oh
to
wow.
be,
Okay.
yeah, because they had the yellow card the game before. I thought they were out
Yes.
today, but my friend told me that's for the semifinal.
So it'll be the
Correct me if
first
I'm
leg of the semifinal
the
then they'll
final.
miss. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's see. We have nice, lovely comments. I have a feeling that Fiorentino Pirates will set color if they don't win. Yeah, it's already been said, but even at the Champions League. So we'll see what's next. But we all know that he was going to leave. So
Yeah, I don't think they can win it either. I think they're too far behind. I think Barcelona's pretty much got it wrapped up because they haven't lost. They've
really,
yeah, like I don't think Real Madrid can win La Liga. I think it's over. So if
I
they
don't
don't win
follow them. So
domestically, yeah, if they're not, like, they'll get into a, like, they're gonna make a Champions League spot, but if they don't win La Liga, like, yeah, I think it's setting up for Ancelotti to end up going to Brazil and coaching the national team. That's what it sounds like. But we'll see.
Gio, Inter players look mentally drained. Did you see the Thuram interview? I did not see the Thuram interview, but I agree. Inter players are drained, of course, but we'll see how far they go. Then one last comment. And physically, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that comment. I don't know if Anthony, but I haven't seen, but connect with me. Now, let's take care of Serie A after a nice little chit chat, which it was hard. I know for both of us it's hard to talk about the Inter, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But continue speaking about this Inter. We'll move on to Juventus, of course. We got the two teams in the Scudetto race, Inter and Napoli. They're 3 points ahead. I know it's just 6 games to go, but Inter has more games because of the how you call it, the Champions League. Then they have the Coppa Italia. And based on what I'm seeing, if I'm not mistaken, Napoli doesn't have a busy schedule like Inter. Inter, the only team that has to be worried. Uh, not that I can't remember, I have to look in that, but besides that, uh, Inter hasn't been losing. Every time, people that know me, all of us, we want Inter to lose. Whatever, these guys are in losing. I know they might drop points either way. So far, they haven't. They had a nice game against Kyrie. The old Inter could have lost, if you ask me. But, but even Napoli, they all said that they're going to drop points, and they did a nice job against Empoli. So, and knowing Conte, but he can do so much. I know last time I had Pasquale, he said he's not doing miracles. I think he's doing miracles, like it or not. Then everybody has their opinion. So, guys on the chat, especially Anthony, what do you think? Anthony, what do you think about this? Who will be the winners? Or it is hard to tell, even though with these 6 games on the way, because I know Inter's the top team right now, and but we can never underestimate Napoli.
Yeah. So going back to the beginning of the season, I remember when us at the AJC, when we kind of did like our preseason predictions of like who we think's going to win the Scudetto and where Juve is ultimately going to finish. Believe it or not, I actually had Juve finishing, I believe I said third or second, but I had Inter winning the Scudetto. And I just said for the simple fact that they have not changed their team and they won last year. So bringing back the same roster, they added maybe a couple of pieces, but having the same roster, same coach, they're the team to beat. And until somebody shows that they can surpass them in the standings and play against them and beat them, then we have to go with the defending champion, right? Unless there was a lot of turnover with the roster, obviously, but in this case they didn't, right? So that's why I just felt like, as much as you would know, how I felt about our Juventus Motta the beginning of the season.
Boy.
I was excited, and I said that they'll push Inter, but they won't win it. Ultimately, we know what happened. Motta gets sacked. They're still there. They're in fourth right now, but they're not going to catch them or Napoli, obviously. But yeah, just based on what I'm seeing, even from now, 6 games left. I mean, obviously Napoli, statistically, they can still do it. It's only 3 points. But I have a hard time seeing Inter drop some games here. And I think part of it too is because yes, they can still, their path to the final of the Champions League is there for them. They can do it. I still think that if they get knocked out early, which I'm thinking they will, like in the semifinal, then that just plays into their hands, right? They'll be able to rest more, not play every 3 days, and that'll ultimately help them wrap up the Scudetto. So it's hard for me to say Napoli can do it. I like they can, obviously, still. Conte, you never know, and I think he hasn't been given enough credit, Conte, in my opinion, for the work he's done with that Napoli team, because he's got some good pieces there, but overall compared to the other three teams in particular, Atalanta, Inter, Juve, they don't have the quality I feel like those other three teams do. And he's brought them to second place and within striking distance of the Scudetto. So I really think that he's got to be given more credit and more recognition for what he's doing, because it speaks volumes. And, we talk about this on our show all the time that, had Juve gone against Motta and chose Conte instead with the roster they have, we'd be sitting here arguing with Interisti about Juve Inter fighting for the Scudetto, and it'd be close. Like I feel confident in saying that Juve would be right there with them. Again, we ultimately chose Motta, right? So I
Yeah,
think for
big
now I
mistake.
still have to go with Inter as winning, as much as that hurts me to say, but it's just the fact is they, like I said, very little to no roster turnover. Same team, same coach. They're comfortable. They know each other well. They've gone on a deep run to the Champions League a couple of years ago, and it's showing, right? So until somebody can get in there and knock them off, they're the team to beat.
Yes, that's true. I know I've been saying that a lot of times, hoping Inter loses points, but they haven't. And I agree with you. They probably be the winners. But with Serie A, anything can happen. Like, what's his name here? Mr. Italo. He said, I don't know me. Hold on a second. So much comments. I should put that as a story. As he said, it makes a wonderful campeonato. Exactly. That's why I like to be more competitive and whatsoever. So then, Mr. Anthony Lafleur, Inter is the strongest team in the league, and Napoli have Antonio Conte and players who are willing to fight for him. It's hard for me to see at this point. Yeah, true. Well, me, Anthony, we kind of agree. They went, and we could be wrong. Like, I hope Napoli wins, but my hope recently with Inter works out. So, but we have to wait and see. Oh, I hope Inter becomes Bayern in 2012, runners up in the three comps. I guess we'll wait and see. We wait and see. Um, Mr. Pasquale. Never knew you can celebrate a tie like this. Feels awesome. Well, good for you. I think anybody in your shoes will like to. Even we experienced games like this in the past. But
Yeah.
Paisa, like I said, Carlo Pasquale, good luck on Barcelona. And you said it last week. Uh, you gotta be careful with Barcelona, but Barcelona have to be careful with you too because you have a good defense, and it's hard to break that wall. So yes, Pasquale, I get it, but I'm not hoping anymore. I'm saying you're gonna win all of them. How's that? I don't really care, but it is what it is. Then, okay, if that's the case, Trim, why not give Mota the 3 years to rebuild? You want to answer this, Anthony? That I say my piece.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, and actually it goes to one of the comments right after that, what Gio said. It's because Mota lost the dressing room, and not only did he lose the dressing room, but he forced out a lot of experience, and he came in probably a little cocky because the biggest club in Italy wanted him, and so it kind of got to him, and he came in there guns blazing and tried to get rid of a lot of players, and he did. But ultimately, it bit him in the ass, and you could just see that he lost a lot of the key pieces that were brought in. Didn't jive with his message, or didn't necessarily, I guess, fit with his system, his style of play, what he was asking of the players, like Akut Miners, Douglas Luiz. You can make whatever you want of these guys. I have my opinions on them, and everybody else has their opinions on them as well. But
Yeah.
you can't come into a team. It doesn't matter if it's Juve or somebody else, but the way he came in, I was saying it a lot this year on our show that it's almost like we got an imposter. Like it's a totally different person, a totally different manager than what he was at Bologna, because he came in and yes, he tried to implement his system and his style, but I just don't get I don't get where this all came from with the players, and the man management was the biggest thing for me, and that's why you don't give him the 3 years. I mean, I think we would. It's safe to say we would both admit and agree that we would have wanted to give him the 3 years. We want him to still be here. We
Yeah,
want him to be coaching Monday against Parma, but he's not here, and it's mainly because of his own doing, right? The other thing that I didn't like personally was that it seems like he had more control or more say over who to bring in the mercato than Giuntoli. And I don't, not that I don't like that, but I'm of the old school mentality where if you're the sporting director, you bring the roster and the coach has to adapt to the roster that you bring and the players you bring. And he has to play
well
the
said.
guys that are here. And I just think that, we catered too much to Mota, and ultimately Giuntoli realized that that's on him. And so, okay, it's easy to get rid of him, but now Giuntoli has to kind of watch his own back, right? Because
Yeah.
he's going to come into question this summer. We'll see if he stays. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors obviously circulating that he could potentially be on his way out as well. We'll see what happens. I don't disagree with, or I'm not criticizing Giuntoli as much in terms of like the players he brought in. Come on, if it's Inter, if it's Napoli, whatever team you support, you'd be pretty happy with Coop Miners. You'd be pretty happy with a Douglas Luiz being brought in, like Chico Consensao on loan. Like these guys are all good players. The fact that they have off years the same year and at the same time, it's sports. It's calcio, right? That's just how it goes. But you can't predict that. So for me, it's more on Mota than it is Giuntoli. But I know reading some of the comments, Italo saying about 50-50. Yes, it's true. It can be on both Mota and Giuntoli, but I think it's more so Giuntoli. The reason why he has the shared blame is he should have trusted his instincts and told Mota, like, listen, I'm trusting you to coach this team, but there's certain players that I want to keep. And if you're not going to use them, like, for example, you're trying to tell me that Daniele Rugani couldn't play as a fifth string or fourth string center back when we had to go out and buy Lloyd Kelly in January? Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. The guy was a serviceable player, sat on the bench and played when needed, but instead you go pay whatever it was, $12 million, and it's obligation, so he's going to stay next year unless they sell him in the summer, right? Like, just doesn't make sense, man. So that's why we don't keep Mota for 3 years in the rebuild, because he blew it up himself, and it's as simple as that.
Yes, I'm seeing the comments here. Of course, Pasquale has to say this. Juve Cornicas Moto got sacked when he was only 1 point behind fourth place.
Yeah,
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's fine, but again, it's from the outside, and I respect his opinion. From the outside, it's easy for him to say that, but I
Yeah,
know
it
for a
is
fact that
easy.
if it was Mota at Inter, they would be feeling the same kind of pressure and the same kind of will to say, okay, yeah, he's one. Like we could say he's 1 point, but when you get rid of all of those players, you lose the locker room like that. Like it doesn't matter who he's managing. Like you got to move on, and the sooner the better, because yes, they were only 1 point, but Bologna's right there, Lazio's right there. Fiorentina was making a push. Now they've kind of tailed off a bit.
So,
You know what I mean? They had to make a change to save the season from getting worse, because if they're in fifth or sixth place right now, Champions League money is important for all the clubs, right? That's why you play. So
well, like you said, it's easy for him to say, but my thoughts about this Mota situation, let's be real. We lost with Atalanta 4-0 at home the first time in 1960. We had the worst performance in Champions League. As much I sit here complain, Anthony knows, with Allegri, I think this guy beat the Allegri's record in 3 years that we have complained. So it's easy for you guys to say that, because if Moto was in the same position under Marotta, he won't last long at Inter. And, then no one else can, because he was stressed out. He really wants the Champions League, so he got tutor. And but the whole thing is messed up, bro. Like you said about Junta, I know me, you, we kind of went back and forth with Junta. You said that one of my comments that he might stay. I think he might not stay, but we'll have to wait and see. By how Junta did at the end, I feel ashamed calling Mota. That's not even good either. You know, he pushed to put Mota, then now you regret by saying that. That's not even good, in my opinion. As much we can all get mad at Mota, call him merda whatsoever, but we got to be a little bit realistic. Then the things that Moto was saying was too much presuntuoso. Now, I don't know how to say that in English, too much he thinks he knows it all. He never wanted to change the system. So I don't know. Now, with Tudor along, I know a lot of people are happy, are excited. They want to keep it. But is he going to be our guy to winning? Is he going to be of course, he probably might be the guy to keep top four. Let's hope. But is he the guy? I know he has Juventinita whatsoever. But these rumors with Conte, which I'm going to ask you this, Trimboli, and people have been attacking me with Conte, which we talked about it with Pasquale and Dom last week. Is he? Is he? Would you prefer Conte or Tudor? Because for me personally, I don't see Tudor staying even with top four and doing, let's say, well with the Club World Cup. What do you think, Paisan?
Yeah, it's a very fluid situation, meaning like there's so many factors. So you obviously take into account the remaining 6 games plus the last what 3 games that he's been here. So you take that all into account. You see what happens at the Club World Cup, which the thing about the Club World Cup, which I'm going, so I'm
Good
excited
on
about
you.
it. But the best part is that we have our own fans that are like saying it's a Mickey Mouse tournament and who cares? But then everybody's, when this question comes up, they're so invested into it. So it makes me laugh because people are talking shit about the tournament, saying it's garbage, nobody cares, and this and that. But it directly affects us because Juve needs to do well, or you would like them to succeed and do well in it in order to keep Tudor if you want him to stay. But the wild card is Aurelio De Laurentiis, Napoli, and Conte, because we don't know what's going to happen with them. And
Yeah,
I know, I know Alberto's been saying that he's been hearing that it's pretty much done. Conte's coming, it's done. So he's like, but
I've
again,
been hearing that too.
take it
I
with a
agree on
grain of salt,
Alberto.
right?
Yeah,
Take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so let's just say he's available. Never mind that it's done or whatever. If he's available, for me, it's an easy choice. You take Conte back. Regardless of what Tudor does, I understand, yes, he can get us in the top four, which he more than likely will, let's hope. Um, Winning Club World Cup or doing well in Club World Cup, I mean, for me, not that it doesn't mean anything, but it's a pre-tournament for the start of next year. So yeah, don't get me wrong. If he does well, like I don't think it's a I don't think it's bad to keep Tudor, but only if there's not other better options available. Because again, I was Mr. Build the statue for Mota, and look how that turned out. So now I'm extra
cautious.
cautious. So because my whole thing is, and I said it last week when I was live with AJC for the pregame. I'm tired of waiting. I'm done. I don't want no project. I just want
I
to
think
win as soon as possible. So whoever gives us the best chance to win next year, that's what I want to go with.
yes, you're absolutely right. Well, it's not just you. You want to wait. You want to win. You don't
Yeah.
want to wait. The same with me, everybody, because we've been hearing years after years this project under Elcon, and it's getting quite pathetic. Now, I agree with you what you said about Alberto. I heard it to myself
Yeah.
about the Conte whatsoever, but let's wait and see how is that going to turn out.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Juventino want him, but guys, if there's no other option, like for me, a dream is Klopp. Bring this guy in because, like I said, with Tudor, with all due respect, I do like him. I like how he talks. I know I like how he gets the grinta, but I find it hard for him to stay and win trophies. You know what I mean? So that's just me. And we're seeing the comments here. Lots of my sources saying, "Oh, you got sources too, Gio. Bravo." He says it's
Yeah,
done.
I
Okay.
mean
Okay.
that's the thing too. Like he could obviously change his mind and stay at Napoli, but for me it's one of two things. If he leaves, he's not going anywhere else. He's going to go to Juve. That's just what I think. So it's either he decides to stay and okay, he stays, he stays. Then Juve's got to figure it out. But for me, I just feel like if he's leaving, there's only one team he's going to go to, and it's obviously
It's
Juve, right? So
Well, yes, because I've been arguing with a lot of Juventini, and I said I understand what he did in the past. He left, which he did with Tottenham, Inter, Napoli. But me and you,
Chelsea,
we've been Chelsea. Me
yeah,
and you have been hearing this. Well, that he wants to cut back. He wants to prove the fans wrong. Guys, if this guy, his wife lives in Italy, well, his family, he has the daughter there, and like it or not, he's a Juventino. If he proves me wrong, whatsoever, why not? Unfortunately,
yeah.
who you gonna get besides Conte if you don't want to spend? So then the fact he kind of rekindled with Daniele. So there's a lot of things going on. Then, of course, I'm pretty sure you know yourself, Elka and Agnelli on the phone because Agnelli's not happy. I can't wait to see how is that going to turn out. Hopefully, come soon as possible because I don't know about you, me, Mr. John Elkan, me proprio rotto le palle, to be quite honest. So even with the Ferrari, he's not doing that great, but the fact that he's talking to his cousin, that'd be great. Let's see. 1 second, my friend, because people, these two interisti doesn't give up. Let's see. I also heard Elka and Andrea have made up. And Andrea, yes, I don't know if they made up. I know they've been talking, him and Elkan, but these are the rumors that he probably come because he has to wait in October for that last court that he has to do. Then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe it might be next year. I am not too sure. Um Pasquale, if Napoli loses Scudetto, Conte will leave 80%. If Napoli wins the Scudetto, Conte will leave out. So both ways, he's leaving. Yeah, I guess. So what do you
Yeah, but
think?
he's saying that they just if they lose the Scudetto, it's less likely that he leaves, which is interesting because usually you think it would be the opposite. If they win, you think he would
Yeah,
want to stay, but um, yeah, there's too much going on, and I mean the biggest thing that nobody talks about too is like if the stuff in the background with De Laurentiis, if he's still getting actually indicted and he getting those charges brought up about the Osimhen transfer and all of that, like there were rumblings about a month ago or 2 months ago that like that was resurfacing and they might face penalties and stuff like that. So obviously if that was to happen, we'll find out in the summertime if it's going to happen after the season. If it does, then it gives him kind of more of a reason to want to leave because Conte's not going to stay with a team that gets minus 15 point deduction or has to lose players or transfer ban, all this kind of stuff. And it would be a shame for them in a year where they just sold Kvaratskhelia and made what 80 million or however many millions they've got, right? So they've got money and they're going to sell Osimhen. So it will be hard to, see them staying together. And that's also why I just feel like, whether it's actually done or not, again, I have no knowledge of that, but just everything I see just from a fan standpoint, like De Laurentiis with any manager, like it's short lived. Nobody wants to stay long term with him. Like it's a miracle Spalletti stayed as long as he did for me.
yeah,
But
it
again,
is a big miracle.
they ended up winning in the end, and then he left after, right? So it's just how it is when you have an owner like that that's really hands on and very pushy, and was at one point considered very cheap, right? Wouldn't spend money. Now he's been spending because they've been making money, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know.
Yeah, it was even last week about DL. I agree with you, Guido. The Rendes Conte won't last long, even if he wins, and Conte doesn't have to pay. That's why I like Conte because he's kind of like me. He doesn't put up with the stuff. So we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, anything can happen because Napoli is not quoted in the stock exchange. Napoli only
Fines, yeah.
face ban. Yeah, exactly. Then 1 second, I got Mr. Andrew. No, Calvin, sorry. It's crazy hearing people say that don't want Conte because he's bad in Europe when we've been awful. True, but it's not only that. Even the fact he went to Inter, how he left. You know what I mean, Calvin? They're professionals. Conte's a Juventino, like it or not. And I'm not going to change my opinion. I don't know how Conte feels him a Juventino, but we got to be realistic and stop acting like little babies. Oh, I don't want it because of this and that, baby. Boo boo. Mamma mia.
Yeah, yeah. Even the stuff with Europe, like yes, it's everybody's dream to win the Champions League, but
Nowadays,
Juventus has not won a Scudetto in 5 seasons,
yeah, it's
5
been a
years
long time for us.
after winning 9 in a row. So I think we need to
Yeah,
focus on winning Serie A before we get to winning Champions League or doing well in Europe.
whatsoever.
Like for me, it's more of a priority to do well in Serie A and Coppa Italia. Like do that first, then see what happens with the Champions League because every year is different, right? This year too, like at one point they were on a pretty good pace, pretty good run, then they had a couple of bad games, and then it cost them their spot. But like early on in the Champions League fixtures, we were doing well, right? So you never know; it can be one of those years where everything just goes well for you, right? But focus on Serie A first. That's the biggest thing for me.
As Gio says,
Yeah,
Scudetto's first in Europe. Yeah,
exactly. Yep,
but I
agree.
would like to see them playing well at Europe too. Not,
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it. We all do, but again, it's
very as
you can.
important. Then we'll hoping before I die see Juventus winning the Champions League because our luck in Champions League 7 final. Like I saw in 1996, that's when I started liking Juventus with my mother Milanista. But since then, yes, it's a beautiful performance in the final against Milan, Real Madrid, and whatsoever. But it's about time to win something. Hopefully, things change
Yeah.
um, in the future because soccer nowadays it's pretty bad. So hopefully things will get better. Hopefully we can find like a salary cap so we can get some good players too, don't you think? So
Well, you know what? As a fan of North American sports, I mean,
yeah,
I prefer no salary cap. I like that they could just spend however much money they want to spend. It's better that way, selfishly. But
mm,
if there's a salary cap, then everybody across the world has to spend only a certain amount of money. That will make it more interesting because then other teams will get better too, right? But
that's what
nah,
I'm
you gotta.
saying. I
Yeah,
get your point. I think Mancini will be better option for Juve. He is also a Juventus inside. He's also a winner. Yes, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But the majority of the fans don't want him because you know about the 2006, what he said whatsoever. The majority of the fans are not gonna want him, Paisano. It's unfortunate, but and we're not gonna hear from the Curva Sud. Then Elkan is gonna lose his mind. So yeah, and we got Mr. Raf Spinelli. Buonasera, grande. Always welcome to be here. What does this mean, Gio? Gio, did you do something? Because I see a lot of people. What? I got rated? Who did it? You did? Oh, come on, Gio. Yeah, I seen a lot of people in the chat right now. Madonna mia. Okay, let's. Are we good? Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Well, like, who else is here? Yes, but I rather have Ancelotti at Spurs. Okay. Well, nice seeing you on the chat. Well, the chat is going well. Minchia. Okay, guys, continue on. Oh, Zier did. Zier Talks, my man. Thank you so much. Give it a shout out to Zier Talks. He just rated me. Bro, I don't know how can I
nice.
thank you. Yeah, thinks so. People at the chat, like and subscribe. Jair, I know I should have had you tonight, but you said you were busy. But I'm gonna have you on my show, and then we'll make it happen. So you can let it out about your lovely Byron. So wow,
Nice.
hold on a
Yeah.
second. Pick up Michael. He's from Holland. He's an Ajax fan. What I said.
Nice.
Okay. I look at the. Let's continue. So I got a little bit excited, Anthony. Before I continue, you always know where to find me. Go on my YouTube channel, uh, like and subscribe, and then you guys can find me on Soccer Forever Sempre Calcio on Facebook, Calcio 300Z, Instagram, and Twitter. Why is there Soccer Forever per Sempre Calcio? Well, That is my old channel, and for some reason I cannot change the profile, guys. So if you guys want to check it out there, and yeah, so anyways, continue on. So I'm getting kind of distracted here with the chat, but I'll look at it because I want to continue the show. I'll catch up with you guys because there's a lot of big up here. So um, the next game we have with Juventus against Parma, my friend. What do you expect? A nice win? A 2-0? I say 2-0.
It's gonna be a tough one. I feel like it's gonna be a tough game. The first match they drew at Allianz Stadium. I remember that game because I remember I was that day I went to the gym and it was on and I had it on and I was like kind of screaming, going crazy while I'm trying to do a workout. I'm watching the game. It was probably not the best idea, but I remember they I think they got a late goal to pull even and then we ended up drawing. So um, we'll see. I just the biggest thing for me is they have to continue to play the way Tudor's been instructing them. So specifically to the last game, as we saw, first half was they were on fire. Two goals looked like they were going to blow the doors off Lecce. In the second half, I fell asleep. To wake up in the 85th or 86th minute when they scored, it's 2-1. So we'll see. Yeah, Yildiz took a knock in training, his
Oh,
thigh.
man.
So we'll see. He might not be available. We don't know yet. The good thing is that the game is on Monday. So there's still a few days that he can recuperate, right? But yeah, obviously missing Yildiz for that game would be a big loss for Juve. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be able to recover anybody else. It sounds like Gatti's still going to miss Parma as well. And I don't know. It doesn't look like Douglas Luiz is ever going to get any game action. He was on the bench for the Lecce game, but he just is not getting in, or I don't know if he's just not fit enough yet. So, but I mean, we'll see. They should win this game. Obviously, they should, but they have to go out there and prove it. And for me, the easiest thing would just be I want to see two halves where they're playing the same way and not kind of drop off like they did, in the second half against Lecce. So, in terms of a prediction, it's a little early, but if I had to make a prediction gun to my head, I would say 2-1 Juve. I think we
2-1.
concede. I think we'll concede one, not because I want to, but I just think that something funny will happen. Parma's at home too, so they tend to push a little bit harder at home. But I still think that Juve will win, and ultimately they'll get a couple goals. So hopefully my boy Coop Miners gets another one. I was happy to see him score in the
Well,
last game.
finally.
It's not hasn't been the season that he's hoped for, that's for sure, in terms of offensive production, but you'll see with Tudor, I think he's kind of giving him more of a push, and I feel like all the players are adapting more like well to Tudor's message as opposed to Mota. Like you could just see at the end that they didn't want to play for Mota. Now, new voice, he's encouraging, but he's hard on them, like to push them, and just kind of holding everybody accountable. Because if anybody knows what it means to be Juventino and play Juve, it's Tudor, right? So that's one thing
Yeah,
that I do really respect about him.
I agree with you. You kind of nailed it with this game. I wasn't happy the other game as well because we could have finished lots, but thanks to our boy, he keeps on missing. I just can't wait for him to leave. I don't know about you, Trim, but I respect your opinion if you want him to stay, but I just had enough with this guy. But with Cool Miners, I know you like him. I like him too, but a lot of people, I understand it's just legit, but finally it was nice to see the score. I'll give him a try till next year, bro. Like maybe till December. Then if he doesn't connect in a big club like Juventus, then uh, it's about time to leave because we did spend a lot of money. But I'm not miners out. I'm just saying the way I look at it. And Calvin Jones says Cortomuso 1-0. Then what's his name? Gio said something. Yeah, but more reports I think you know about Tonali. What do you think about this Tonali? I would love to see that, but I don't know. What do you think, Trimboli?
It's
A dream.
it's gonna be tough to pull it off. I don't know. I just the biggest thing will be I think right now is we have to see, and actually I'm pretty sure they won today 5-0 Newcastle. If they don't qualify for the Champions League, I think it's a lot more realistic. But I feel like if they make Champions League for next year, which more than likely they will, it's going to be difficult for them to give up one of their best players. Right? They're already asking for a high fee, 60 to 70 million. It's a lot of money.
It is.
Now, we talked about this on our show on Saturday last week. If we feel that that's too much money, like, would you feel comfortable spending 60 or 70 million on Tonali? I said yes, I would be okay with it, but I can understand why people are hesitant, and it's mainly because of picking up Coop Miners for 60 this year and picking
Yeah,
up Douglas Luiz. But I still think, I mean, we're talking about one of the best midfielders in the world. Like, he's arguably up there. So I think personally it would be worth it. But the other thing too is I would prefer if it wasn't just straight cash, if they were able to send Douglas Luiz the other way, because they're going to need to open up a roster spot. They can't just bring Tonali. They don't have enough uh, space for him, right? Like they need to get rid of another midfielder. So if it's a if it's a Douglas Luiz and some cash for Tonali kind of swap, then yeah, sure, why not? But I don't know. I don't know if it's
yeah,
gonna happen. I think it's we're dreaming. I think right now.
yeah. There has been a lot of rumors, even about Jonathan Davis. I know you like him a lot, so I don't know. I won't believe it till until I see it. Um, let's
Yeah.
see here. 1 second. What Pascual? Guys, another Bandiera played his last Champions League game today. Thomas Müller, 25 years with Bayern Munich. How many players you know that did so many years one club? Could only think of Maldini. I don't know. Besides, I agree with Maldini. Do you know any other players? Yeah, top of my head, I don't.
I'm trying to think. Not many, because a lot of the ones that I'm thinking ended up leaving late in their career and went somewhere else. So, trying to think of who else. Yeah, Totti. Yeah, that's probably him and Maldini. Those are probably the only two
Yeah,
I can think of.
yeah, same. I don't know. Juve corner cast. Allegri is favored to become Milan's next coach.
Ah,
Well, speaking about this, before I try to close it up, I see there's a little banter around on this channel. So let's put my lovely topic of the day, the Io Goldo section. You guys put the band of questions as is you're doing, and we'll keep it fun. And uh, Madonna, yeah. Okay. So, Andrew, do you have anything else that I'm missing? Because I've been kind of a little bit
um,
behind with the Juventus news, to be honest. Like I've been here from you guys from the AGC. By the way, you can follow Anthony from all Juvecast, the AGC. He's part of it. There's Alberto there and the boys. So go check it out to my fellow Juventini out on here. Hoping to have Alberto, but he's been pretty busy. So hopefully we'll make something happen eventually.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. No, in terms of the news, I mean, it's been today. As today actually was a little bit interesting because I don't know what was going on with Sport Media Set, but I think they were a little drunk or maybe they had some of the green stuff. They're saying that Juve is not satisfied with Di Gregorio and that they're going to sell Di Gregorio, and the
really?
first name to replace him is David De Gea of Fiorentina. I don't.
Okay.
I think they're a little bit drunk, or they're a little bit. They do the little bit of the
Yeah.
green stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
something
Some
fishy's going on
fishy.
there.
I did not hear on my end. But like I
So
said,
we,
there's too much rumors from now until the Mercado. That's why I don't say too much. I wait close to the Mercado, then bring this, which tomorrow, by the way, I'm going to be uh, talking about Juventus on my next video. But this thing with Di Gregor, that's surprising. Gunnar says Di Gregor
He's
is
solid,
solid.
yeah. No,
Welcome
exactly.
to
And
the
that's why
channel, Gunnar.
I don't think they're gonna sell him. That's crazy talk. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's just right now there's a lot of rumors, a lot of names out there. Like you mentioned about, especially with the attack, it's Jonathan David, it's Osimhen, it's Retegui, it's Lookman. It's like there's just too many names, too many names. I think the biggest thing for Juve right now in the attack, they have to sort out the Vlahovic stuff. He will go,
Yes,
and apparently there's a lot of teams interested. Good, better for us.
good.
So
Maybe
you can
Arsenal,
move
hopefully.
on from him, and then you can figure out how you're gonna replace him. And then Kolomuani, I don't know. I still don't.
Olo Punani, like you said.
Yeah, I
I love
I don't
that.
know what they're gonna do with him. If they're gonna keep him, if they're gonna send him back. It sounds like PSG's asking for a lot. So unless they're able to extend the loan by a year, maybe.
Mm,
But
mm.
yeah,
I don't know either. We'll see. Like I said, uh, like I said on my videos and a lot of people, for me, nothing against Jonathan Davis. I prefer more like a Sesko, maybe Osimhen. I know Tropi's oldie, yes, but we just wait to wait. Of course, if Jonathan David's come, that's the case. I'm not going to cry, but hopefully he can improve with you because he played with Lille. The national team, okay, beautiful. But is he going to help Juventus? You're the expert of the Canadian national team. Me, not really. So,
well, the biggest thing with him is he's a free agent, so he
yeah,
doesn't. You're
that's
not spending money to sending money to another team to get him. He would just come in as a free agent. So um, the latest rumors, because Mr. Pasquale is saying that yes, Juve would prefer Osimhen. I would think so as well. But the problem with Osimhen is who's the team that owns him, and they're saying they will refuse to sell him to Juve. So Napoli's not going to sell Osimhen to Juve. So
yeah.
they could prefer Osimhen over David, but if David's a free and
Mm.
he apparently holds Juve as his top choice. That's what they're saying right now. I don't believe it because I want him to come to Juve, but I don't think he will as a Canadian.
I
So
believe I respect your opinion because I was going back and forth with people that like Davis. I did not say Escarzo whatsoever. I don't know if he will benefit Juve, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
yeah, the
Because
biggest thing is everybody looks at his passport and says because he's Canadian, he's not going to be good. So
no,
for
I did
me,
not say that, but I know
not
what
you,
you
not
mean
you. I'm saying others, but
in
that's
general.
why for me, I'd rather he just goes to another team, so that
Okay.
way, we don't get to enjoy him at Juve, and the Juve fans can regret when he goes somewhere else and he plays well. Then they can say, "Oh shit, we could have had this guy. He's good. Yeah, he is good." But
Yeah.
so, but it's okay. It's there's other options out there.
Hmm.
Hoyland,
I don't
unless
know,
he's
but
coming on loan, Juve's not gonna buy him outright. Uh,
David,
United wants a lot of money, so yeah.
yeah, from Man United more than David. Yeah, I don't know about Hoyland, Pascual. I don't see that happen. It will be nice, but we're gonna bring some Italian players, if you ask me. I'm sick and tired. Oh, please take Hoyland. I beg. He's a Man United fan.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
We'll take him on loan. I don't know if we take him permanent. The Juve would take him on a 1 year loan and then maybe option. I don't know about obligation, but option maybe.
Yeah, Mirko's saying watch out because you've like Retegui too, but I know Atalanta will ask crazy money. Yeah, I don't want that because we already get so much praise from them. Too much money, no thank you. He's a good player, yes. Trimbley, would you like Retegui? Me
Well,
personally,
of all the options and all the names out there, like I would prefer he would be really high on my list. Um, higher than Lookman, higher than what's his name there, higher than Osimhen. But again, Osimhen, the biggest thing is Napoli owns him. They're not going to sell him to Juve, so that's why it's not realistic. Lookman is too expensive. They want 60 million. So if they want 60 million for Lookman, what are they going to ask for Retegui? That's the problem.
Yeah,
They're going to probably ask around the same, 50 to 60 million, right? So
exactly.
our
Well,
track record with buying Atalanta players and Coop miners is not good.
yeah,
So
never buy a Gasperini player. True. Very true. Dilla Pizan, but looks great. You not link with him?
no,
No, no.
it sounds like it's mostly Premier League teams that are linked with
Yeah,
him.
I'm not. I don't know about Trimbley. I watch a little bit, but all these names, I've been hearing it through friends. I'm not the expert. I guess you're a Man United fan. I have a lot of Man United friends at work, so which they're not happy that Liverpool's winning the Scudetto. Are you happy, my friend? I don't know. So, okay, comments. Oh, Dortmund. What about the Dortmund striker for Juventus? I don't know nothing about him. Anthony? I
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
this
don't know which one. I gotta look quickly to see
yeah.
here.
Sorry, we're not really great well, not experts. Yeah, I cannot know all this. It's already hard for me to talk about all the Italian teams, which I try.
Oh, I think
So
he's okay. I think I know who he's talking about here. Yeah, the guy from Ghana. He scored a hat trick yesterday. I don't think, I don't think Juve's even looking at him as far as I know. But yeah, obviously coming off a hat trick in the last game, he's a good
yeah,
player. But there's actually
yeah,
the one guy in that lineup that Juve's looking at. There's a couple. Adiemi from Dortmund and Max
yeah,
Bayer. They were looking at too. He's a young
yeah.
German kid, but they're both going to be high price. I don't think Juve's gonna look at them.
Yeah, like Pasquale is saying Guarassi, I don't know who he is, costs more
That's
than Osimhen.
that's the guy. That's the guy.
That's
Yeah.
the guy. Yeah, no, thank you. Uh, well, so many comments, I don't know where to start. Okay, so guys, um, you haven't not other things. I lost my mind besides the predictions. If you want to do that, but do you have any other news that we don't know about Juventus?
No, I think we pretty much touched on everything. The main thing today was definitely like the Champions League fixtures, and
Yeah.
um, I don't know if we would touch on Coppa Italia because it's still next week, right? So, but yeah, just I think just this weekend's fixtures news. It's like I said,
Yeah,
not too
sorry
much.
because I've been behind with the Juve news. So I'm gonna need to get
Yeah,
back on track because with work and everything. That's why I ask you because you're with the AJC. Then they're always up. You guys are always on top. So especially Alberto with the videos, I love it. Okay, guys. I hope I can see myself because I'm doing everything on my phone. My iPad is not working. It's pissing me off. So let's see if I can go and check the match day. Okay, can I see match? Yeah, April 20th, right? So 19th. Okay. We're gonna go on some serie predictions, boys. Put it down. I try to link it up because so many people. Thank you all, guys. It's your talks, Gio, Michael, everybody here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's start off. I'm gonna start with the classic Rino Zaurini predictions with the top
okay,
four. So, well, let's say the top games. On Saturday, there's Napoli, no, Monza against Napoli. I'm going to go 2-0 for Napoli. You, Anthony?
Whew. Well, after their last performance they played, I think on Monday, Napoli was a really good game. I saw McTominay got a couple goals, or as our paesano interworld wide calls a mix sauce. Mix sauce. I like that. I always laugh when he
Oh,
calls McTominay mix sauce because
mix up.
he likes United too, right? So, but
Oh, yeah, he follows them.
for Napoli Monza, Monza stink. So it's going to be probably, yeah, I think 3-0, like Pasquale says. I think Napoli's going to take care of them pretty easily.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. So, Tony Rosebeat. Yes, they played on Monday, Tony. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We already talked about it at the beginning. We'll talk about you. Don't worry. Let me see if I missed something here. Sorry. I need to get used to. Okay. Um, then okay, Napoli. But okay, we have this guy said, but Napoli, no, Bologna. Yeah, Bologna versus Inter. He's going for Bologna win. I'm going for. I know based on experience, but Inter always have problems with Bologna at home.
Right.
But I'll give this time. I'm gonna say because my predictions, especially with Inter, went bad. So I'm gonna say 2-0 win with Inter. As much I think Bologna could beat them because based on their experience, but things has changed. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Inter. You, Anthony, in the chat.
So if I take my Juve hat off, as hard as it is, we need them to lose because they're 2 points behind us. And obviously if they come up with a result, or more
Yeah,
specifically, they actually beat Inter, that puts a lot of pressure on Juve. But
exactly.
I just think the way Inter's been playing lately, yes, this game today will take a lot out of them for sure because it's a short turnaround every 3 days, of course. So they'll play, again Saturday. Um, I still think they have enough. I think it's actually going to be a draw. I think it might be like a 1-1 draw, which still helps Juventus in a sense because they only gain 1 point, so they'll still be behind us. But um, I'm going to say 1-1, 1-1 draw, scrappy 1-1 draw.
We got Michael 1-1. Okay. Pasquale. Pasquale's pretty good on his prediction. 1-0 Inter. Okay, Pasquale. Hope
I
you're
can see
right.
that
But
too. I can see that too.
if Bologna wins, then you know where I'm going to go through against you guys. But you're used to it. So 0-0 Mirko. Okay. That's a decent result, Mirko, because usually you give crazy results. Calvin Jones, 1 Bologna, 2 Inter. I said 2-0, so then Raf, 2-1 Inter. Wow. Okay, well, we gotta be realistic. Let's see. If Inter would have lost today, it would have been worse at Bologna, but winning pumps the players up. Well, good luck, Pasquale. All the best. Let's see what happens. You haven't been dropping points, so you guys are like a machine. Oh, you also got the tie today. Huh.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
I
Yeah,
will go to your prediction, Pasquale. Now, after that, let's move on. Bologna. Oh, Milan and Atalanta, boys.
yeah, that's a big one.
Uh, I'm sorry for Milan and my fellow Milanisti out there. Your guys are going to lose. I don't see this Milan winning. I'm sorry. What do you think, Tremblay? I'm going to 0 Atalanta.
That was my score. Yeah, that's the first thing that popped into my head was 2-0 Atalanta. So I think they just have
Uh,
too much firepower, and yes, I know Milan, they won last week. I think it was what 3-0 or 3-1 they won last week. So they're coming off a win,
4-0.
or
But with
4-0 there. Yeah,
Udinese.
yeah, I know, and that's why though. But they're feeling better, obviously with a big result against Udinese. But Atalanta's
Yeah.
too strong right now. They've been up and down too, to be fair. But I think Atalanta gets it done this week.
Mm. Okay, I'm with you. And Milan. Oh, wow. Milan 1, Atalanta
Wow.
3. Milan's head is at the semi-final on Tuesday versus Inter. I'm going to ask you a question, Pasquale. Who you think is going to win between Inter Milan at the semi-final? Let me know. Then last at least, Parma Juventus. I'm giving 2-0 Juventus. Anthony, you?
So I'm going to keep my same score. I said 2-1
2
Juve.
1. Yes, sorry. Okay. Mirko says 2-1 win. Of course, you said 2-1 win because you want Atalanta to drop points. Mirko. Okay, guys, continuing on. I'm gonna close it up. Uh, Thank you all, and special thanks to Zero Talk and Gio and the boys that raid me. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And Anthony, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll have you back in the indoor next time. I hope you're not busy. We'll have the Juve crew so we can talk about just Juve and have a good time with Severin and company. And that's it. Bada bim, bada boom. In Coppa Italia, Inter 1, Milan 1, and Inter wins on penalties. We'll wait and see. I might do a watch along. If not, I might have Pasquale maybe in Galletto Rossonero post game next week
Nice.
for Coppa Italia. So stay tuned, boys. Uh, Raf, thanks again. I hope your Lazio will go through, and we'll wait and see how the next games go. So until then, so I was a little bit behind with the comments because I'm new to this, having all these people. So thank you all, Anthony. Thanks again,
Yep.
and
Thank you.
we will chat with you, lovebirds, soon. On to the next. Bada bing, bada boom. Like and subscribe. E ciao ciao. E arrivederci. La 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 la. Boom.